Okay, let's have a look at something called the model of excellence. Now, here's a question for you. What organizations have got a fantastic reputation for service quality, customer service quality? What kind of brands have got an awesome reputation for providing world-class service experiences for their customers? Let's have a think. Companies that are often mentioned are people like John Lewis, people like Virgin, Mercedes-Benz, Emirates Airlines, these kinds of brands. Now, all of these brands have something in common. They have what's sometimes called a pattern which connects, and it's this. They all have a set of explicit standards, service standards, operating standards, behavior standards. Now, every single one of them will have an expectation of their people about how they're expected to perform. These are explicit standards. Sometimes you'll have seen explicit standards, service standards, promises to customers, things like that. You'll have seen them described perhaps on a wall, on some form of poster, or maybe you've seen them in some kind of glossy brochure. But here's the thing. Here's the rub of it. Having the fancy stuff written down, having the explicit standards described is one thing, but unless it's turned into behavior, it's just hot air, it's just words, it means nothing. And I've worked with a lot of organizations who are not yet world class, who have got fantastic explicit standards. It's just, frankly, that those words are not turned into behavior. So there's the first learning point of the model of excellence. Let's get some explicit standards in place. Let's help people understand how they're expected to perform. If you work for some of those world-class brands, make no mistake, if you want to be part of the family, you'll be expected to perform using those standards. You'll be expected to deliver, to behave in the way that the organization expects you to do. Those are explicit standards. So having them in place is great, but on their own, they're not enough. They have to be turned into behavior. Now let's have a look at the second level in the model of excellence. I'm very lucky. I go to work with all sorts of different organizations all around the world. And when I meet world-class brands and brands that aspire to becoming world-class, I generally meet the top dog, the boss, the person who's responsible for service quality. And we have a conversation. It's the same conversation every time. Maybe the words change a little bit, but the essence of it is common. And it goes like this. He or she will say to me, "Okay, Nick, thanks for coming. We've got a challenge." And I'll say, "Really? What's that?" "Well, the challenge that we've got is this. Competition's tough. There is not a massive differential in product service standards between us and our competitors. And the reality is that the difference that makes the difference is the caliber of the service, the caliber of the experience that our customers have." Now, I've got to tell you, Nick, he or she will say, it's the same conversation every time. I've got some parts of the organization where service standard is exemplary. It's first class. It's outstanding. They are pockets of excellence. The vast majority of my operation, he or she will say, is okay. We're doing all right. I've got acres of mediocrity and I've got some pits of despair. No matter what I do, I just can't get some people, some parts of my organization to operate at this level. Certainly not at that level. I've got inconsistency. Can you help me? And of course, the answer is yes, of course we can help. We can help you to create service delivery at a very high level indeed, which is consistent. And we can do that through high impact, fantastic, different training, the kind of training which most people have not experienced before. But here's the thing. The training, the impact of training is temporary. It doesn't last long. Now, the truth is this. Training is a waste of time. Did you know that? Particularly soft skills training, customer service training, a complete waste of time. It's like throwing wet mud up against the wall. Most of it slides off immediately. It leaves a bit of sediment behind and there's a big puddle of brown water on the floor. Training doesn't work. Now, if you're from learning and development or HR, you may be feeling a little uncomfortable at the moment, but bear with me. It's true. When people leave a training environment, as they walk out of the door, I see it so regularly. The learning is falling off them as they exit the room. It doesn't stick. Training doesn't work. It's okay, learning and development people and HR people, we're getting to the quick. Here's the thing. When learning and development, when training is turned into behavior and then sustained now Now the training becomes valuable. Now it's gold dust. Now you get a return on investment, the like of which you've never had before. But it has to be sustained. And that's the final part, the top of the pyramid of the model of excellence. And we create sustainability. It's essentially two words, isn't it? The ability to sustain. English is a dreadful language. We have the ability to sustain new behaviours through coaching. And that's what Continue and Begin Fast Coaching does. So let's just summarise the model of excellence. We have explicit standards, ways of operating, expectations of how people will perform. We've got to have it consistently delivered in all parts of our operation, not just some, not just most, but all parts of the business have to operate to these high levels of expectancy. And the third part is we've got to keep it alive. So it's not just something we did once, it's sustained. And we keep it going every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year, with every customer, with every employee. And we do that through fast coaching, the Continue and Begin way. And that's what you're going to learn on this program.